Well, that's certainly right. Many people across the country, many Australians would have felt the ongoing bite of the inflation. Now, despite the ABS data, which has shown that it has gone down from 7.8% to 7%, the inflation rate, many Australians are still feeling that grocery gripe and ongoing effect from that record 31-year high we felt in December, where it was at a record 9.5%. And that's certainly been passed on to everyday grocery shoppers who may have looked at their bill and thought, maybe I've taken a few too many chip packets, but that's certainly not the case. We would have noticed that meat has gone up by about 4%. Fruit and veggies also up about 5% as well, and dairy products in particular with those double digits have gone up by about 15%. Cheese in particular up 4%, which has certainly added a couple of extra dollars to your average grocery bill. Now, while takeaway and taking and eating out has gone up about 7%, most Australians are choosing to eat at home or make their own food at home to sort of avoid the extra pennies and cash. But certainly if you're like me and you kind of need a cup of joe to kickstart your day, you would have noticed that the price of a cup of coffee last year would have been about $4. That's gone up since and been about $5, and most cafes and restaurants across the country would have seen those little stickers being put onto the prices, so to change the prices really. And if you're a little bit overindulgent this morning, particularly as I'm very hungry, I've kind of gone for a toasty. And a toasty would have been about $6 last year. It's gone up to about $8 on average, and that's due to the cost of the products, and that's being passed on to the consumer. So as I mentioned, cost of cheese would have been about 4%, a little bit higher. Meat as well, if you got a bit of ham on your sandwich, that would have been about 4% as well, and fruit and veg up 4%. Even just the 2 slices of bread in between up about 5%, which has really added the extra dollars and cents onto our average meals. Now, I spoke with a number of people here in Sydney's CBD over the last couple of hours, and they said that the cost of living pressures has certainly hit their hip pockets extremely hard.
Living, I know it's really hard for my children at the moment too, so that's really tough, just with their mortgages and groceries and going out. So yeah, it's a tough time.
There's no question. Day to day, it's very noticeable. You walk into the supermarket and you suddenly find yourself paying 25% more for the same product in a matter of 2 or 3 days.
Well, the question on everyone's lips now is whether or not the RBA will hike up the cash rate. Now, despite last month pausing it temporarily, and we've seen those back-to-back cash rates hiked up, there is a bit of concern, and it's got markets and economists particularly split as to whether or not the RBA, when they do meet next Tuesday, whether or not they'll hike up the cash rate by a quarter of a percentage point, bringing it to 3.85%. What that means for everyone, Joe, is that your average cup of coffee or cup of joe could go up a couple of extra cents over the next few months or so. Now, while this hurts my hip pocket, I hope it tastes just as good and is worth every penny going down, Joe.
Ari, I don't notice much greenery on that toasty. I hope you're going to pick up a salad a little later, or maybe because of the cost of living crisis, you'll just buy a tomato from the supermarket or something like that.
Definitely.